sauce. My paychecks used to be a pair of Jordans, and I know I can't afford them, but I went ahead and bought them.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Oh, out of my way. All day. I'm here all day. Yeah, that's what I do.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Caught. Kelsey, left side. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He sets to fire deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
begin the drive. Here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now let's see if they can. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And now here comes Kansas City. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
There we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. He'll take it at the 42. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a big no-no last time, a safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand now. So see if they can atone for that mistake.
You give up points, but on the flip side, the positive side, after you punted the ball away or kicked it away,
defense held.
Defense held for you, so there's a little bit of relief there. Now they know they can get back out on the field, run their offense, and try not to put their defense in a bad spot again.
They'll toss it to Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watson on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Allen Bailey in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Mahomes going to throw. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field.
Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes now on first down. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Z. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. J.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, standing just about on his own goal line. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Texans set to come onto the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Faking the give. Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's taken down inside the 30. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Chris Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And here comes the Texans now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Well, he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Justin Houston in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now here comes Kansas City. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Green 90. Green 90.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Throw left side complete. It's Watkins. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City 1st. On 1st down, Mahomes flushed out right. Caught, Safarian-Jenkins, right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Mahomes again. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll come out in the pistol. Mahomes to throw once more. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And Vinatieri's kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken about the 12. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the 3rd quarter, because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
Buying time to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 43 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So the penalty really winds up hurting him there.
Yeah, it winds up pushing him back. Sure enough, the field goal comes up short.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And that's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the 3rd and then carry that over to the 4th.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
Mahomes now on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down, and he'll whip it over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
He'll get it up the middle, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. J.D. McKissick, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Chiefs are in for 6. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, end result, touchdown.
Sammy Coates now to return it. Pretty move. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. After the run, Watson going to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They'll run. This is Hunt. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. Now a toss coming right side. That's Hunt, and he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Chiefs now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go now.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Back now in Houston. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Zing, zing, zing. Zing, zing, zing.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Blue 45.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll make it third down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacting to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it here with Hunt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 50, it's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Texans on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back back to throw, Watson. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. This will be taken at the 10. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now here's Mahomes. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This is taken at about the 14. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Two 1st downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They run with Hunt. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They run again with Hunt. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Hunt. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Now it's Hunt. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward, because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And his kick is good. And the Texans are going to win the football game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Houston, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they'll fall to